Okay, now we finished with the first section of the finished with the header div, the intro div and its content, and now we're going to focus on we're going to focus on this main section. So we're going to create a div that wraps the total content of the main section together. So we're going to create that in type document. I'll come back to in type, and you can see we just came back to the code and it looks a little bit daunting. The codes are much, and if these are not well commented, I would have found it difficult to know where to place my next div. And I know this is the end of the intro div and I want my main div to be after that, and now I'm creating div below it. I'll give that an ID of equals to main content. I'll close that out. I always do that, why? Close that out. I'll comment it. Say main content div starts here. Close it out. Press enter. Come here. Close my div. I'll comment that also. And main content div. Save that out. Come here. Its return key. Indent it to show coding hierarchy. So within this div, the first thing we came across were two heading tags. Normally, some people are going to place this within a div, this within a div, but okay, I think we're going to go a different way from what was actually listed here. We're also going to have this h1, but we're going to span our div. This div you see here, we're going to make this cover both the latest blog posts. So it's going to contain both the h1 and the p and b and p. So it's going to contain both the h1 and the list item. So we're going to create another div within it, as opposed to what we made a little modification. I'm going to give that an ID equals to latest blog. And I'll indent that. I'll close it out. Best I comment it. So you'll see. Okay. I'll correct that. Don't worry. And I will give this a comment of work on this latest. Come here, close that, and latest log div. And I'll go down, indent the code, and I'll have my first h1. And we actually use an h2 showing hierarchy. We'll come here, close that h2 out. And I said it's best you close your codes the moment you open them. We'll go back to the initial design, just copy this out, tab, take our type tool, click here, copy, Ctrl C, go back to in type, paste, Ctrl V. So we're going to just copy this section here, copy, come here, hit return, Ctrl V. Call this, change something news and what? Use. I'll add event. Change this to small detail. We're actually using camel casing a lot for this. Start news and event div. News and event div. Changes to news and event. Let's add an X to that. We'll go back to the previous one, the blog. We hit return and we add our p paragraph, and we add our p paragraph also. Save. We're going to use a program like called Talkie to generate our text for this. Oh, okay. Talkie. You want to speak Talkie? You want to speak Talkie? Why is it taking so long? Okay. And we already have a couple of P paragraphs there, so I'm gonna copy a line first. Since we're using the dummy text for this program, it's not really a big deal on what plays within it until our client brings the original content. I'm gonna hit the return key, go back to Talkie, and there's Talkie. Oh, there he is. Oh, who took my Talkie? I'm just gonna copy. I think 2 or 3 lines will be enough. I'll copy this. Click copy, and I will through Talkie now. I'll just leave it minimized. Press my tab key. I'll go back to okay. Go back to our in type. I'm gonna minimize this guy out. And we just paste Ctrl V. And we see another problem here. We have readability problem, the inability to debug our codes. We want to keep this within lines that can be read, so we'll tab this a little bit. Come here just for the closing P, hit our return key, hit delete to remove that white space. Come here, return key, delete, return key, return key. I want to get this guy down and take it to the same level with the opening tag. Okay. Basically, this white space here, from here to here, the HTML passed, the browser passes this page, it's going to see that's just one tiny little bit of space, just like when you hit your space bar when you type in on your Microsoft Word. So go repeat this step for the other 2 paragraphs, and I'm going to come here, I'll tap. I'll do the same for this one, just hit here. Come here, is return, and basically I'm trying to organize this as much as I can. Return, okay, I'll tap that, tab. I think that's okay. I'll Ctrl save. I'm not going to do this for the last one. We're just going to delete that out. Make sure everything is selected. Guys, you can see how long that is. Oh, you're so crazy. Click delete. Come here, copy. And tab Ctrl V. And I think we're done with that. And we'll go back to our browser to see what we've done. So come here, refresh. And we'll actually see first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth paragraph. I'll see the next div, which are news and events. So that's what we're going to create now, and we'll be through with this class. Maybe you guys are happy, or maybe you guys are hungry, something like that. But maybe I'm doing my best to bring you all I know, you know. Okay, within here from our code we use a list, and I'm going to use a list for this because these ones are actually linked, and we want our user when they come to the site to be able to click on one of these links, and take them to the actual news and events page. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go within the news div. Let me reduce the white space. Want that white space, or close that, save, and now we're going to go within the news div. Come here, click no, that's just below the h2, hit return, and we create our level, our list item. Click here, press tab, I'll create our lists, li, close, hit return. And since it has a link within it, we're gonna add a link. I'm gonna say a ref equals to, okay, I'll close that out. Save. Let's go about this. I want to explain something quickly. Within here, we want the text to be a link. We don't want the date to be a link. So I'm just going to copy the date out here, go back to my original design, copy the date out, and I'll place that within the span tag. I'll hit T on my keyboard, activate my type tool, copy this, Ctrl C, go back to in type. And before the anchor link, I'm going to tab this down because I want to show hierarchy also. Tab this, tab, I'll create my span tab on my span tag, and open and close. I'll Ctrl V, and there we get our date. So we want the actual content to be the link. So we want to place the actual content within the anchor tag. So come here, I'll go back to my type. I'm going to come here and copy and Ctrl V. Now we have this looking crazy. So I'm gonna, should I leave this on online? No. And take this down. Tab, do the same for this. Come here, tab, 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 tab. Hit the delete key. Yeah, just take this one down. Okay. Take this one down. Then what we're going to do is this. We're just going to replicate this. Say copy. Come here. Hit return. Ctrl V. Hit return. Ctrl V. Hit return. Ctrl V. And you save. This stop my recording. And that's it. Go to Dreamweaver, preview our page, refresh, and we see that our content, we finally created our page. This is the HTML markup. We just go click on, say Ctrl U to view our source, and see that our validator says no error. Now this is clean code and semantic. So semantics actually using codes, HTML tags where they are supposed to be used, where they perform the specific functions they were made for. And that's bye bye for today. This is the end of HTML markup tutorial of converting a PST mockup to HTML markup, brought to you by C Cognate. Fizzle.